When Americans went, one mistake we made, one major mistake we made, and that was disbanding the Iraqi army. Overnight, there was no army, no police department, no law enforcement agent at all, overnight. That means Iraq was open to more than 100 thieves who were set free just a month before the invasion by Saddam Hussein himself. As part of his reconciliation, so-called reconciliation efforts, he set 100,000 thieves free. And obviously, when there is no law enforcement, look at New York. When there were no electricity for 6 hours, 7 hours, what happened in the most advanced country in the world? So what do we expect Iraqis to do? I mean, when there is no government enforcing the law, the society will turn into a jungle. And this is what happened in Iraq. And even after 5 years after the invasion, it's been over 5 years actually. I mean, in 3 months, 4 months, it will be 6 years. Iraqi troops and forces are unable to stand on their feet. Iraqis are not well equipped yet. Why is that? Nobody knows. By the way, Iraq theoretically is one of the most richest nations in the region. They don't need any foreign aid like Afghanistan and Africa. If Iraq is let alone, if Iraq is allowed to use its natural resources, Iraq will be one of the richest countries in the Middle East. But for some reason, this is not happening. I really don't know why. The Iraqi forces are not well equipped. The Iraqi forces are not well trained, that they cannot even conduct one single set of operations. Americans have to help them out. I don't think it's because Iraqis are lazy or stupid. I think the system works in a way that does not allow the Iraqis to stand on their feet yet. It seems that there is an intent to stay as long as we can in Iraq. And now they are talking about establishing permanent military bases in Iraq. So I really don't have a definite answer to that, how to solve this problem, because I'm not a strategist, but through my conversation with many Iraqis, it seems that the vision, the dream they had about a free democratic Iraq has not been realized yet.
How much does the Sunni Shiite difference play into all that?
I had an interview just a few minutes ago with Media Meet, which is your local PBS.
Public television.
I said for over 1,000 years, Shia and Sunnis lived in peace and harmony in Iraq. And never had we had in Iraq the type of violence we experience now. And we never had this before. And Sunnis and Shia have their differences, just like Lutherans and Episcopal have their differences. I mean, their differences are not that great to make them carry, gun in the face of each other and to fight with each other. Even under Saddam, Saddam was Sunni person, but Shia community, who form over between 55 to 60% of the Iraqi population, they did not blame the Sunni community, because in the end Saddam was a secular person. He was not a practicing Sunni. Indeed, Saddam was not religious at all. Only during his last days he pretended he is religious, because he knows that religious sentiments are running on the high, and he wanted to exploit people's feelings. Therefore, for over 1,000 years, Shia and Sunnis lived in harmony and peace in Iraq. It was not till the invasion, when the invasion took place when some of these terrorists came to Iraq, and they were mostly Wahhabis. Now I have to emphasize one point. Wahhabis are formally they are Sunnis, but they are not real Sunnis. They are fanatics, they are extremists who believe that the most Sunnis are not true Muslims. In other words, they are a fanatic group who believe that the majority of Sunnis are not real Muslims. Basically, they disagree with any group that disagrees with them. And they consider any person who disagrees with them not to be Muslim. So they are very fanatics, very extremist. And they came to Iraq and they waged a sectarian war. Not for any religious purpose, not because they hate Shia only. They do hate Shia, but that was not the real reason. The real reason because they did not want the Americans to succeed in Iraq. Because if a civil war takes place in Iraq, that means Americans cannot contain the situation. That means their job will be difficult and get more difficult, and then they have to leave because there is no, exit strategy for them. They will eventually leave. If they cannot achieve victory, they will eventually leave, as it happened in Somalia 15 years ago. So for a few years, actually for 3 or 4 years, from 2003 to 2006, Shia, urged by their leaders, Ayatollah Sistani, they exercised self-restraint. They did not attack back. But when one holy shrine in Samarra in 2006 was attacked, unfortunately emotion let loose and some ignorant Shia went after innocent Sunnis, and that's how Iraq plunged into almost a civil war. I believe that if Iraqis are smart, and they are smart, when you go to Iraq, you talk to people. Forget about politicians. Politicians have agenda. Both Shia and Sunni politicians, they have their own agenda. They are trying to exploit their respective communities' feelings to advance their own personal agenda. But if you talk to individual Sunnis and Shia in Iraq, you see how I would say, how they long for peace and harmony. You find many Shia married to Sunni and many Sunnis married to Shia. And they tell you that this is not the Iraq we want. We don't want Iraqis to fight with each other. So I believe there is a very small segment of Iraqis, very small segment of Iraqis, not more than 1 to 3% maximum, who are involved in the fighting. And I can say safely, 95 to 97% of Iraqis abhor the violence done in their country. But they are overwhelmed. They cannot do anything about it. They really cannot do anything about it. Violence is blind. And violent people, terrorists, really do not distinguish between their group, Sunnis and Shia. Look, I mean, we have Shia people attacking their own Shia people. We have Sunni people, Sunni extremists, Sunni violent, attacking Sunni people. This means this is not about, your sect or your denomination. This is about vying to power. Each one of these extremist groups are trying to seize on power and take advantage of the power vacuum that was created after the collapse of Saddam.